Welcome aboard the Kevolution. Two more absolute heroes who've backed the Patreon at patreon.com/Lollujo. Andrew Barter, James Morgan, thank you very much for your support, and thank you to everybody who supports the channel over on Patreon. But we've got a Football Manager video to do as well, so let's move on and do that, shall we? Because we might have lost the first game of the season yesterday. We kind of need to fix that today. Hello and welcome to Season 17, Episode 2 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we are at home against Watford and then away against Chelsea in the Premier League. Since you were last with me, the transfer window has slammed shut. I don't think we did any more business. Did we do any more? I think we signed a loan player. João Martins, 18-year-old Portuguese right back, who'll just come in as a backup right back for us. There you go. Means Brassas never has to get anywhere in the team. So that will please the anti-Brassas brigade. So he came in. Other than that, no changes. Since you were last with me, we've not lost a game. We only lost that one against Man United. We then had a very, very impressive 3-1 away win against Arsenal, playing our full-on counter-attacking system. And Lamine Diaby was absolutely superb in that game. I mean, even the own goal was a deflection from his shot. He almost had a 9-minute hat-trick away against Arsenal. He was very good. He scored again against Luton in the League Cup when we knocked them out with basically our reserve team. Stevie Alston getting his first goals for the club in that game as well. And then Jordan Todd grabbed a very late equaliser against Bournemouth to salvage a point in that game. Alston has also made his Scotland debut, got a hat-trick on his debut, and then scored again in his second game as well. So he's got 4 goals from 2 starts for Scotland, and his value is shooting upwards. Still not scored a Premier League goal for us though, but let's hope he remedies that in today's episode. This is the team that we're going to be playing for the first of today's 2 games at home against Watford. Yes, that's right, it's a home game, and we're still not playing attacking football or the 4-3-1-2. Everything is changing here at Ipswich at the moment. So our team for today's game, we've got Menzies in goal, a back 4 of Lang, Gabrielli, Baraglia and Mucha, with Park and Aguirre in midfield. Alston's up front with Pereira, Otterson and Diaby in behind him. Let's submit that team. We're on the telly against Watford. Does that mean Norberto Miguel? Norberto Miguel turning up when Kevin Thompson isn't even on our bench. There he is, look, Miguel's in goal. We turned down about 5 deadline day bids from Southampton for Kevin Thompson. They were absolutely desperate to sign him. They started off at about 400,000. By the end, we turned down a £2 million bid for him. It was very tempting. £2 million for a player who's not going to be a regular starter for us seemed like a very good deal. But then there's the fact that he's still very young. He's still got a lot of potential. He could still work out to be a good Premier League goalkeeper. So let's keep him. He got in a bit of a huff about it, which is why he's not on the bench today. We'll see how he gets on. If he's still in a huff at Christmas, we'll sell him then. Look at this lovely passing football we're playing here. Although Watford intercept and now have a little bit of a break on as well, because Gabrielli was in no man's land, and that is just very incisive counter-attacking football. We were knocking the ball around all pretty style on the edge of their area, having still not had a shot in the entire game 20 minutes in. One little lapse of judgment from Gabrielli, just missing his header completely, missing a tackle, missing a header. He missed something. There you go. Didn't get a tackle back, maybe. I mean, it's an incredibly good finish. But still, perhaps not so much tippy-tappy, a little bit more shooty-shooty. Look, we're dominating possession, but it all counts for nothing because we're 1-0 down. I don't know how long I'm going to enjoy this 4-2-3-1 tactic for. I'd rather attack. I just don't know that we've got the players for it yet. We'll get back to that, though. Park with a chance to shoot. He does, and that's his first goal for Ipswich. There you go, an unbelievable strike. We've had 2 very good goals in this game so far. We're back on level terms. There you go, Park just picks it up. I mean, he has hit that rather sweetly. Goalkeeper's not getting anywhere near that. 1-1. Now we've got something to build on. Watford are top of the league as it stands. Goodness me. Perhaps I shouldn't be that disappointed at the fact that they were in the lead against us. Because I guess it's because both of us have played more games than everyone else because we're playing early. But Diaby's got incredible hair, by the way. Did you all see that? Keep your eye out for Diaby's hair. Alston, there you go. He's got his first Premier League goal now. 3rd goal of the season. Like 5th goal 6th goal in his last 4 games in all competitions for all teams. He's hitting the kind of form we were expecting pre-season. And I tell you what, there's been some good finishes in this game. That might be the pick of the bunch. And as it stands right now, Diaby's picked up a knock. Let's not worry too much about that at this stage. As it stands right now, we are level on points with top of the table Chelsea, obviously having played one more game than them. But still, we're looking good. Aguirre, I still haven't decided how we're going to say his name. Park, Lang, can he cross? He can. Otterson's there, and it's 3-1. And forget all that negativity in the first half. We're suddenly starting to play really rather well. We've still not created a clear-cut chance yet, but due to some clinical finishing, I mean, that's the softest goal that we've scored. But other than that, some very clinical finishing. We're 3-1 up and dominating possession and playing rather splendidly. I think we might even be able to take Diaby off to rest his potential neck injury. Probably should have taken him off a little bit sooner. And we don't really have anyone who can play on that right wing. The only one is Guaran, the youngster. But he's not in the team today, so I guess Jack Beale comes on for a rare appearance. And we're going to drop... Shall we drop back? We won't drop to counter-attacking just yet. We'll give it another 5 or 10 minutes. Hopefully grab another goal. And then drop back into our counter-attacking system that we all enjoy so much. Otterson to Park to Aguirre. Please tell me what to call him. I'm going to... Whatever his first name is, we're changing his name to that in a minute. In fact, wasn't he Enzo? Hold on. If he's Enzo, he's just becoming Enzo. Enzo. Set nickname. Enzo. No. Enzo. Smash him. There you go. That was easily done. We don't ever have to struggle about saying his name again. And we are getting to that point where I'm going to tweak and just drop back to this. We need to take off Enzo. Otterson can go into mid. Oh, he really can't. Okay. Ottoson's going to come off then because he isn't capable of playing in that system. And we'll just do that for 5-10 minutes before dropping even more defensive. Get what's his face, Enzo off fairly shortly. See, I'm still learning this tactics nonsense. It's all very complicated. Too much thinking involved in the game. I'm not used to all this thinking. I don't know that thinking can be good for me. Let's drop back to defensive. And then we are going to take off Enzo. And there you go. We can bring on Chavez Downey, can play as a box-to-box midfield player with a little bit more tackling oomph in there as well. And fingers crossed, this is all wrapped up at this point. Downey to Pereira. Pereira makes it 4. It is wrapped up now. We don't even have to continue down our route of going to contain and all that stuff. We'll just sit on defensive for the last 10 minutes now. We've actually just tactically outplayed an opponent, possibly for the first time in 20 plus years of playing Football Manager games for me. This is a massive learning curve we're on. I mean, I'll have to credit some of you lot for nagging at me about it for 18 months. I've finally started to fiddle with tactics. Still not anywhere near to the degree that you all tell me I should. But that was a victory for tactics. And now we go away to Chelsea in what, ridiculously, is a top-of-the-table clash. So just the one change for Chelsea away, and it's a very simple one. We just have Clement coming into the team, Otterson dropping out of the team, purely because we've taken our attacking midfielder and moved him back to being a defensive midfielder. Other than that, it is the same other 10. I was going to say the same 11 players, the same other 10 players. The only instruction that changes is that of Alston up front, who goes from an advanced forward to a complete forward. The theory behind that being that when he's got a player directly in behind him, he can get away with just being an advanced forward, whereas when he's up there completely on his own, we need him to do a few other bits as well, a bit of holding the ball up, a bit of dropping a little bit deeper on occasion, so making him a complete forward does that, I think, unless I don't really understand what a complete forward is. Really, we always want him to be a complete forward, but for whatever reason, when I've experimented with complete forwards who have other players around them, it doesn't really seem to work. I don't really know why. It did last year. We used Thierry Ambrose as a complete forward for ages, and it worked brilliantly. but I've not been able to get one working yet this year. Downey's just given away a penalty. I'm not really sure what for or at what part of that move a penalty happened, but a penalty happening has. And they're going to score unless Menzies can save a penalty again. He's a penalty-saving machine. Menzies might end up being the finest signing in the history of Football Manager on YouTube. They've just, that's about the third time they've hit the post. We are struggling a little bit. We're sat here trying to counter-attack, but they've already had 14 shots, 2 clear-cut chances. Admittedly, only 3 of their shots have been on target. So I don't know if that's just a sign that they're playing really badly or we're restricting them to shots that they probably shouldn't be taking and they're shooting for the sake of shooting. The fact they've had 2 clear-cut chances, I know one of them would be the penalty. Oh, Downey, for goodness sake. Oh, it's gone down as offside. Downey's now scored an own goal that's been disallowed and given away a penalty. And I think he was the nearest man to the Chelsea scorer there as well. So Chavez Downey's not having the best game in the history of the world. In fact, he was the other change, obviously, because Lang was in the team for the last game. I remember now. Perhaps we'll put Lang back in again because Downey, there you go, that's Downey there, the number 12. Seems to be struggling a little bit. I'd be interested in seeing what his rating is. Only a 6.4. It's not a complete disaster, but he's not playing great, is he? Let's tweak to this, and we'll have to push. Have we got? Hold on. Can neither of them play? There you go. I was going to say, I'm sure one of them could do that. We'll just go to that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then probably make some tweaks. We might even bring on a second striker and get rid of the wingers for today and do a 4-3-1-2. Alston's not playing well at all. Come on, lads. Let's go back to what we know. So, move all of this lot around. Pereira is the one who comes off for Jordan Todd. And we'll also take off Downey because he's causing all sorts of problems at left back. So we've got a very good left back that we can replace him with. So replace him we shall. I am a little bit nervous about what happens if we score now because we've taken off our left winger. So if we score and want to go back to counter-attacking again, what on earth do I do then? I'll have to figure out. So, really, it's not going to come up because Chelsea are going to score lots of goals now. We're not defending. I wonder, against teams like Chelsea, his running is ridiculous. We're seeing it against Chelsea today. We saw it against Man United in the episode yesterday. When we go down away from home against these big teams, am I right to go and attack them? Or should we just carry on counter-attacking, try and keep it tight and try and nick a goal from them at some point rather than trying to force a goal the way we perhaps are at the moment? Alston can come off. We'll bring Jack Beale on. And we'll have a good old-fashioned Football League strike partnership for the last 10 minutes. They have both scored goals on occasion in the Premier League. There's nothing we can do about that one. But if you look at those stats, we have been absolutely dominated and outplayed today. It's the same as happened against Man United. I guess, in the grand scheme of things, the board instructions this year, again, are avoid relegation. We'll be happy if we don't get relegated again. We've had to sell our star player. But that's painful looking at those stats. But if we're going to lose games, let's just keep getting thumped by the big teams and grinding out results against the likes of Watford like we did in the last game. That's fine. That'll be enough to keep us in this division comfortably, probably quite comfortable mid-table. As it stands at the moment, 7 points after 5 games. We'll probably drop down to 11th or 12th once everyone else plays the game in hand that they've got over us. But that's not a disaster. It would be nice to have a positive goal difference, which these constant thumpings aren't going to help with. I think we've probably made a decision that switching to the 4-3-1-2 is a bad idea at all times, because since we did that, it's gone from being tight to no chance of us getting back into the game, and we've not looked any more likely to score. So I guess I kind of answered my own question with how the rest of the game has turned out. We'll keep it tight and see what happens. We've given Chelsea 27 shots today. We've been absolutely toothless. But we won the first game, and that's the important thing. We'd have absolutely bitten your arm off if you'd have offered us 3 points from today's episode at the start of things, and that would be an excellent finishing position for this season. So, can't really complain too much. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.